Thank you very much, guys. Another match, another completely missed prediction on my behalf. This is looking relatively grim for me. I think I've hit one, and that was only because I sided with Eris.
It's rock bottom.
Yeah, it's pretty much EVE Online's rock bottom.
But they bought a Balgon.
They bought a Balgon. They had a battleship set up, and I was so excited. I was like, battleships.
Well, if there are any Balgon owners out there that need a good home and don't want it to die at the hands of BYDI, again, I'll be more than happy to make sure it gets a good home.
Yeah, who was it who got all those faction ships just by asking for them?
Was
it Varone?
That was
No.
CCP Claw.
Yeah, that was
actually.
CCP
Was that
Claw.
Claw? Okay.
But it was back when he was an expert, and it was okay because, I mean, I couldn't ask for Balgorns. Don't send me any Balgorns.
You'll get nothing Spalding.
Yeah.
And like it.
I'm trying to remember, there was someone who used to give away free Vagabonds too. Can't remember who that was on Scrap Heap Challenge.
So we're seeing like 1,000 rooks. 1,000 rooks. Trespecs, why are rooks so good? Why is everyone flying them?
They have a bunch of ECM and they shoot missiles pretty good. Yeah. They got a change semi-recently.
Yeah.
Drone Bay, rate of fire bonus, I believe, and they kept the very powerful ECM bonus that they had. So they're, you don't need to warp cloaked in the tournament, and they're a little bit of DPS support in addition to being pretty much the best ECM platform you're going to field.
Except maybe the Scorpion.
Yeah.
Scorpion's pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen many Scorpions, so why? Is it just too many points?
Kind of. Scorpion is one of those ships that should be good and can be good in the right way, but also seems to kind of fail from people not knowing how to use it. You see a lot of people trying to armor tank them. They only get 4 lows, so you're looking at maybe 2 resistance mods or a resistance mod and a damage control with 2 plates. And it's hard to keep that alive efficiently where, cap is so important in these matches and the efficiency of those remote reps is just absolutely critical. If you can't, efficiently repair it, and you just can't keep it alive. But they do have lots of mids for jammers and things like that. And you could still see a bait Scorp, like it could happen, because they can have a really mean shield tank on them too.
Certainly can. I asked this question before, and Kill2 gave me the answer that I didn't want to hear, so I'm just going to keep asking it till someone agrees with me.
Okay.
Okay, this was a 10 ship setup against a 5 or 6 ship setup. How important is it to get those extra ships in?
It depends a lot on what ships you have on that 6-man team. Like we were saying before, without a logistics, you're probably hosed because there's going to be, you have a buffer tank and you need to be able to do enough DPS to kill them before they get through that. But if you have 6 guys who really know what they're doing and the team really has a concept behind it that's solid, I think it's not beyond reason that they would beat a 10-man team.
I saw some preliminary numbers. I know IC has been working on a graph for that too, but it looked like fielding 10 ships gave you a 54, 56% probability of succeeding or efficiency based on teams that had fielded them, whereas some of the smaller ones like 6 teams was much lower in the 40s, and 7 teams was just just a little higher than, or 7 members was just a little higher than that. So even the numbers would back that up. Frankly, I think if you're spending all of your points on really, really, really high-end stuff and you're not putting in something low-end, you're selling yourself short because every one of those mids, every one of those lows, every one of those highs has a value. And in the Destroyer's case, you're talking about 8 highs, 3 mids in the case of the Thrasher and 2 lows. That's a lot of value that you can be fitting stuff in for 2 points. And the same is true of the Ishkur, the same is true of the Stiletto, even the Battle Badger or the Iteron Mark IV. Very, very low points, very high value for all those available slots.
Yes, and that was exactly because I am a big fan of the 10 ship teams. Doesn't matter what the name of the ship is, it's slots. It's slots you can put modules in. Well, and that's why the Ishkurs do so well. That's why the Destroyers do so well, because it's extra, as you said, Destroyer, it's 8 highs, 2 mids, and whatever you have in your lows. I don't know, I think it's a good investment. Regardless, I think we should talk to the lovely Stevie SG and her experts. Stevie SG, what's going on over there?
Well, lots of drama over here apparently because we did have a bit of a set malfunction, but we are back now. I have no idea what caused it. It may have had something to do with the wavy flag and the feline inhabitants of the Eve TV studio, but other than that, we're all fine, aren't we, Mentleton?
I believe so. Nothing fell anywhere on our heads or anything. It just,
okay?
we've told the cat off and won't do it again.
Yeah, so everything's fine from here. I do have some questions and shout-outs. I have a shout-out from Verone to Vito, which is pretty cool. Hello, Vito.
Hello.
You can all wave. What else do I have? I have a couple of noob questions, which is fine. If you're a noob and watching this, feel free to ask questions. There are no such things as stupid questions, just like stupid people or something like that.
Yep.
So we have a couple of noob questions. What is a disco-foon?
A disco-foon. Well, it's a typhoon, which is a Minotaur battleship with lots of smart bombs in the highs. So smart bombs basically go off around your ship. They're not very smart, they just kill everything in range. So as long as it's within 6 kilometres or so of the ship model, it takes damage. And it's a very good way to get rid of drones, as you'll see drones exploding all over the place, as well as small frigates if they get too close.
Oh, there you go. What else have we got? What is omni-tanking?
Omni-tanking is...
Whoa.
Yo, Kill 2, that was some very good commentary, and I'm going to let you finish, but I think Riot Neo is the best commentator of all time.
Can we get security in here?
Whoa, okay. Well, first I was excited because Kill 2, because Claw was in the room, and then he started talking, and I wasn't anymore. So what is omni-tanking?
It's basically, you've got 4 different types of resistances on armour and also shields, and also if you've actually got damage control you get some resistances on your structure. But omni-tanking is making all of those resistances about as high as possible and sort of equal, not favouring one over the other.
Okay, that's pretty much it from me. One thing for the forums, once I go cry in my dressing room for half an hour after that, if you have an interesting rig, that is, if you're watching Eve TV on a big monitor or you set up your living room, give us a picture, show us on the forums, give us a little link, and show us what you're doing. And I think with that, I'm going to hand back to Soundwave.
Thank you very much, guys. Another quick Kanye reference, subtly inserted into the broadcast.
It's becoming a thing.
It is becoming a thing. It's becoming our thing.
It's not a thing.
And Kanye's thing. Let's take some more questions. We actually have a question from Kieds.
Kieds.
Yes.
By the way, Eds, shoes. They're nicer than yours. I put money and time into this.
Snap. Kieds' question, because Kieds, of course, owns space.
Yes.
He owns a chunk of space where he has his towers and he runs his guys around. Basically, that's
So their downstairs neighbor, more or less.
That annoying one that's
Always with the broom and hip hop music and
that are frying stuff at the middle of the night and smoking it out.
So one of the things they do there is they do this thing called moon mining,
Moon candy.
where basically Eds just takes minerals and just jumps into a pool of money.
Yeah.
So
It's a good
Kieds
tactic.
naturally is worried about his pool of money.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going with this, Chronotis?
Yes, I do.
Can you lift the veil on any of it? And of course, you're free to say no if this is still a secret.
I mean, Grayscale mostly covered our motivations behind why we're doing this in his last blog. You know, it's really to make sure that Alliance can't just park their starbase and have 17 billion a month coming in free, from a passive source that they never need to worry about. And it's really just to stop that and, allow people to, spread the wealth out a bit and allow people to fight over more dynamic sources rather than having huge alliances just funded off these 4 or 5 moons, they hold. It's really, with Dominion, we want, lots of people to be out there, to be in the belts, to be, like in the old days where you actually used to have mining ops in 0.0.
Yes. Young men would
Yes.
grab their best mining ship and jump into a belt and...
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Rosy colored glasses.
Yeah.
And really we're just kind of shifting value around. So it's whereas now there's a lot of focus on ferrogel and stuff like that for Tech 2 production.
Yeah.
It's really just kind of shifting the numbers around a lot and making the other minerals perhaps more worthwhile.
Yeah.
And also at the same time just balancing the books really. And so that you don't get these crazy set of moons that are just kind of almost breaking the game really.
Well, you said it yourself. This source of infinite money. It's like a big tube.
Yeah.
Where money is pouring out.
It's a free ATM. That's not really.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And instead, we can go to the good old days, where young men would band together in mind.
Yes, they would. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Go yo ho ho.
the halcyon days
Yeah.
of Syndicate.
Yes, back in the day. If we're to take one more question, that's from Tiny It again. He's a smart guy. He
good
obviously
questions.
reacted to us questioning his lack of questions. He sent a question back. So we saw quite a few industrial ships today. Why do they like pop up now? Have people just discovered how epic they are? Have people been keeping them in their best setups hidden, or why do we see them today? I mean, we've seen like 2 or 3.
Well, rule changes are the first reason.
Yeah.
I mean, they're now allowed to be in the tournament, which is the biggest one. And you know, certain teams recognize again the utility of having something there that can carry spare cap boosters, spare ammo if you needed it. They also allow you to do the remote ECCM, which is a very effective strategy for keeping guardians and arrows from being jammed, and they can also remote sensor boost your rooks if you want, so you can get faster lock time and get your jams out even quicker. All of these scenarios offer a whole lot of value for that.
I don't know. I thought the whole hauler thing was kind of
Battle
dumb.
badges.
Yeah. Unless you're bringing a battle badger, I don't really see the point. I mean, maybe my overview is not set up correctly, but I haven't seen a lot of cans getting ejected full of cap boosters or whatever.
That's a good point.
I mean, you can get the same. It may be mainly the point thing. I was going to say you can get the same amount of mid slots out of a Blackbird or something, but those are considerably more points. So
I see some functionality if you have a Marauders, for example, you do the remote ECCM stuff.
Yeah.
So you're kind of covering their weakness, and you'll be able to give them cap boosters when they.
Although the Marauders have huge cargo bays already.
Yes,
Yeah.
And the Paladin's not likely to run out of cap boosters.
I'm definitely seeing. I can see the mid slot utility, given the way points are working this year. But I mean, I don't necessarily think a hauler is. I don't think
it's 3 points.
Yeah, without a hauler, I don't think you couldn't do it without a hauler.
Oh yeah, no.
I think that's a fair point. I think that we are going to go to Banzai Boys versus Red Overlord soon. Trismic, what do you think about this?
Except for that.
Yeah. Was that the?
That was the
Solar
Shield
Fleet with the
Sins.
Gentlemen,
Sorry.
Sorry. I'd say I think Red Overlord's going to win this. I think Red Overlord is another team that's going to go far in this tournament because they have a lot of resources on hand and they have a lot of good pilots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Team Yankee Doodle Danger agrees.
I'm going to go with the other guys. They've been fielding sins I see there, and
Oh,
Shield
no.
tanking.
That's fine.
shield tank.
Yeah,
Okay.
shield tanking sins.
But
Well,
it
yeah.
worked. It worked. You can say what you want, but it worked. Anyway, we have to go to the match, and I will go with Red Overlord because they fielded 5 Tech 3 ships, and I thought that was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
They lost
Let's go see
They all
amazing X number of T3 ships, possibly.
Maybe.